Some 2-3 years ago, I was book shopping some pre-loved gems and I found this book. I picked it up because one of my friends suggested I should read that book, and I didn't know anything about the book, so I read the blurb on the back and I was like, bro, what? This sounds so familiar. This sounds like Squid Game. So I bought the book, I brought it home, and that's how I discovered one of the craziest thrillers I have ever read. Welcome back to my channel, baby dolls. I'm your unhinged book girly Addie at your service. So hit the subscribe button and be a part of the Unhinged Book Club. So the book that I'm talking about is, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to give you a little synopsis of the book before I give you the title of the book. So we have 10 strangers who are being lured to a mysterious island. There is speculations about the island regarding who is the owner of the island, what goes on in the island. That is why the island is mysterious. Now you might question, if the island is suspicious already, then why are these 10 people going there? Because number one, human beings are insanely curious, and number two, they received invitation letters asking them to visit the island for various reasons. Some of them received it from acquaintances and some received appointment letters. So money was also involved. Some of them wanted some extra cash. So all of them made it to the island. Now when they reached there, they realized their hosts were missing. They were not present, and they were, talking about how queer that is, and they were mingling among themselves, getting to know each other. And then suddenly there was an announcement. I'm not going to say what that announcement was. And a few minutes after that, while they were, arguing and stuff regarding that announcement, one of them drops dead. And then eventually, as the story progresses, more people die one after the other, and they realize there is a murderer among them. But the question was, where was the murderer? Was the murderer in the island, like hiding in the island? Or was it one of them? There's another important piece of information that I forgot to say. These people were dying one after the other according to a nursery rhyme. Like all of them had a copy of a nursery rhyme in their room, and the nursery rhyme said how the characters in the rhyme died one by one, and that is exactly how these people were dying. So that is what the story is about. If you have read this book, you might have guessed it. I'm talking about And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Hear me out. Why did I say this book is so similar to Squid Game? But before that, I want to give you a brief synopsis of Squid Game, just in case you haven't watched the show or you don't know what it is about and you're curious. So in Squid Game, you have this group of financially struggling people, and they were lured with the offer of huge cash. The only thing that they had to do was play some children's game. So obviously they signed up. What they did not know before signing up is that they would be taken to a remote island, isolated from the outside world, and the children's game they were supposed to play, they were twisted into deadly games. Whoever lost a game or refused to play a game, they were eliminated by death. So the show basically deals with humanity, moral dilemma, and survival. Now that you know the premise of both the book and the drama, I want to tell you why I think that these two are similar in vibes, and I think that Squid Game lovers are gonna love this book. And this comparison is between And Then There Were None and Squid Game Season 1. Season 2 and 3 is a whole different discussion. We are not getting into that now. So the first obvious similarity is the remote island thing. In both the book and the drama, we have a remote island, and these people, they are basically trapped in the remote island with no escape route. In Squid Game, the people couldn't escape because of the security, and in And Then There Were None, they couldn't escape because of the weather and the violent sea. So basically, isolation and helplessness are key themes here. The next very interesting similarity is the use of childhood nostalgia to commit these crimes. Like in Squid Game, you literally have kids' game which were turned deadly, and in And Then There Were None, these people were being murdered in accordance to a nursery rhyme. So it's almost like the actual main culprit, the perpetrator, is tainting childhood innocence Another similarity is the survival aspect of both the drama and the book. In both the drama and the book, the people were trying to survive in extreme conditions because both these include elimination by death. In Squid Game, the people who lost in the games, they were eliminated by death, and in And Then There Were None, death was used as an elimination method to serve justice. That is all I'm going to say, no spoilers. Then comes the trust issues. Obviously, this is an interesting aspect of both the book and the drama because people were literally in survival mode. So they knew that they were gonna be backstabbed by anybody and everybody. They didn't know who to trust. And I think that added to the horror of both the book and the drama. And in both cases, money is related somehow or the other. Like I said, in Squid Game, people were fighting these deadly games because they wanted to win huge cash. And Then There Were None, some people, they were lured with some extra income. So as you can understand, in both the drama and the book, there are these themes of isolation, morality, moral dilemma, humanity, survival instincts, and how people actually behave when they are pushed to their limits. So you see, there are so many similarities between the two, some direct, some indirect, some thematic, some literal. Although the plot is different in both of them, but the vibes are kind of similar, you know. Now that we are done talking about the similarity between Squid Game 1 and Then There Were None, I hope you pick the book up if you have watched the series, and if you have read the book, I hope you watched the show. I want to briefly talk about season 2 and 3. Yeah, y'all know this was coming because you guys, I have so much to say. But I'm gonna keep it short because I know if I ramble too much, if I yap too much, I'm gonna end up giving spoilers. So I'm just gonna say, what the f? This is a personal opinion, so no hate, please. Seriously, what the f? I think the very message that was there in season 1 was taken out of the show and yeeted out of the window. Just like that. If you know what happened in the end of season 1, what was the meaning of all that? What was the point of everything? This whole humanity, moral dilemma. I feel like that was pointless because season 2 and season 3, they were just mindless gore and death for no reason. And I don't like meaningless death. And I'm not just saying this because my favorite character died, okay? Like, yeah.
I am traumatized. I'm still traumatized. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Like, I knew that was gonna happen. These shows, they're getting way too predictable with the emotional whiplash. But I genuinely loved season 1. I genuinely loved the message of the show. So I'm genuinely disappointed by its ending, and it's kind of sad to me. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to end up giving any spoilers. If you have watched season 2 and 3 and you want to rant, feel free to do that in my comments. But obviously give a spoiler, warning, just so that someone who hasn't watched it yet or want to watch it, they don't end up reading spoilers. So that's it for today, baby dolls. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a friend to this loner. Let me know in the comments below if you would consider reading the book or watching the show, or maybe both. If you haven't subscribed already, then subscribe for more videos like this. And if you are a regular viewer, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. More interesting bookish videos are coming, so stay tuned for that. And hopefully, I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you. Was the mother, and comparison is between and this and then there one. So as you can understand, in both the drama and the book, there are these. I genuinely love the message of this. So I genuinely. Then feel free to do feel free to do these shows. They are getting way too predictable with the emotional whiplash